Hey everyone, Noodle here.
And I'm Oscapt, and today, having completed the Season 17 scoreboard, we have some new thoughts and information to share with you.
When the season just kicked off, we did a basic flip through of the scoreboard with our initial reaction to the new items. And we also did a breakdown of the ticket system and the new season system in general. You may remember that one. Now that we've experienced the scoreboard and actually acquired some of these items, we see some things in a new light.
In this final season review video, we'll cover some of the best items on the scoreboard, some of the worst, as well as share surprising developments and disappointing experiences that we've had on this journey through Season 17. Let's go. To start off on a positive note, let's talk about the items on the scoreboard that we absolutely loved and that surprised us. Noodle, what's one thing here that turned out to be amazing?
Hands down, the best item on the scoreboard is the Vintage Camper Survival Tent. This is literally the greatest tent we've ever gotten. And only Fallout First people care about tents anyway. We knew it was going to be awesome. The one that surprised me was the inner tube chairs, both the standard and the pink sprinkles varieties. I thought these were the dumbest things ever when I saw them for the first time, but actually setting them up in our camps, they're kind of cool. They look different, and they genuinely feel like they should be comfortable. I have them set up in every camp that's near water. You?
The most surprising for me was probably the Scoutmaster Collectron. We didn't really know what to expect from him. We thought that he just collected wood and kind of made fun of him at first glance, but he turned out to be very useful. Remember that if the Pioneer Scouts aesthetic doesn't appeal to you, you can always assign this dude's duties to another Collectron, like your fetch dog, for instance. We did a separate video on the Scoutmaster and why it's possibly the best Collectron yet. Check it out here if you haven't seen it already.
One thing that I absolutely adore now that it's installed is the stove oven cooking station. It's very cozy and rustic, and I don't think I even realized that this thing was a cooking station at first. It's gorgeous. Don't skip over this one, guys.
I also really like the stove oven and the tent, but honestly, there aren't that many items here that I would have bought on my own if I didn't have to spend tickets on something. I got the archery shooting station and also all of the stabbed weaponry. I remember we were speculating on those weird new items, and they actually turned out to be pretty cool. You can stab knives, arrows, axes, and tomahawks into vertical and horizontal surfaces, and this gives a lot of immersive, decorative versatility to camp building.
Speaking of immersive, the picnic basket stash box and the roast rasher are both on my list. That thrasher deserves a bigger, more glorious picture. This thing is humongous. It makes me hungry just looking at it. Great for anyone with cooking-themed camps. And of course the pemmican collector. I know, I always make fun of it because it's 3 slabs of bacon on an open fire, and that's not at all what pemmican is, but it does actually produce food that never spoils, and it looks really cool.
There are a bunch of really beautiful power armor skins scattered throughout the scoreboard. If you're into power armor, make sure to go back and collect them all. That's it for me though, at least item-wise. Besides, of course, I enjoyed the atoms and the gold bullion that I picked up along the way.
You know what they say, one wastelander's trash is another one's treasure. Well, these items we're about to cover, I don't think they're anyone's treasure. Number one dumbest item on the scoreboard for me is the blue lobster trap. It doesn't even trap lobsters. It is blue though. It's a helmet that you wear because people totally wear lobster traps as helmets. And when you put it on, you can't even see your face in there. It's a mesh, but you can't see through it. It's just really dumb.
I had my eye on the pipe quiver backpack, but it's actually quite impractical, especially if you're already wearing a jetpack. This thing is big, unrealistic, and would look much cooler as a piece of furniture than something that you wear on your back.
The biggest disappointment for me was the outdoor projector. As you saw in my earlier video on it, for me, it's pretty much always heavily pixelated or glitched and not turning on at all. I know that for most players on PC, it hasn't been problematic, and it's possible that Bethesda has already fixed it, but not before I filmed my summer camp challenge video with it glitching all over the screen. Definitely a bummer.
Personally, I didn't care much for most of the other items on this scoreboard. There are a lot of trinkets there, like camp signs, character icons, posters. It's all just filler.
These are our yays and nays on every single item on the scoreboard. We happen to agree on them all. It may seem like there's a more or less equal number of green checks and red X's on the scoreboard, but if you look at it closer, most of the green checks are on things like re-rollers, caps, atoms, and other boosts. Hardly any are on items. I think this is part of the letdown of this season for me. We grind to get what? More boosts so that we can grind some more? There are very few items here that I feel are actual rewards that we can install or carry and be reminded of the season in a positive way. A few trinkets, but that's it. Last season, for instance, we got the cremator. Love it or hate it, but it is a super special collectible weapon. And if you've gone to the Fastnacht event even once, you probably noticed that that weapon alone changed the game forever. Nothing like that here. What were some of the things that you loved or hated on the scoreboard? Do you agree with some, any, most of our grading on this? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to know what you think.
We'll make this trailer perfect just for us to have some fun. Oh, we're building dreams together in this white trash paradise. With loving guns and laughter, everything feels right. A camper full of memories and a love that's pure and true. In our white trash paradise, it's just me and you.
Though it's not all doom and gloom, there are a few things about the new season system that we actually found to be enjoyable.
I really liked having atoms scattered throughout the board. I know we had them on the old scoreboards as well, but this time I found myself actually doing dailies and moving up in rank, motivated by those atoms. Because I do so many camp build videos and item review videos these days, I'm always low on atoms to buy the things that I actually want to review. So I was on a proper hunt for atoms, and I got them all, and spent them all already.
It's not just atoms that are scattered throughout the board. Don't overlook these little windows. We also get legendary script, legendary modules, scout banners, gold bullion, caps, and lunchboxes.
I felt that this time it was very easy to advance on the scoreboard quickly. I'm not really sure if that's a good thing, but it certainly made it quicker for me to get those atoms that I was after.
Something that I found myself leaving behind and that I have to remember to go back and get before the season ends are all of the cap rewards. I am almost always maxed out on caps, so I skip those. I should just really go buy a bunch of stuff and then go back and redeem them.
One thing that drove me absolutely crazy is that every time I go to seasons, it puts me on page 1. I may be ranked 90 and up to page 13, yet I still have to scroll from page 1 every single time. That's a little weird and not a pleasant user experience. I hope they fix it in season 18.
I wasn't thrilled about how many of the plans just repeat themselves with different skins. As somebody who understands development, I find that to just be lazy.
I think the biggest disappointment with this system of tickets is that it tricks you into thinking that you have a choice. I was moving through the ranks, reviewing all the items, making videos about what to get and what to skip, when in the end, I have so many tickets that I've collected that I have to spend them all anyway. So now I'm going through the scoreboard and clicking literally on every piece of junk that I don't even want. That diminishes the value, not the cost, the value of rewards. I don't feel particularly proud of having earned any of these things.
It's worth noting that if you're able to grind your way up to rank 150, then you can spend your excess tickets on the items that are on the bonus page too. But it's also worth noting that those items are multiple times more expensive than the same items were earlier on in the season. People have said in response to our other videos that in the old scoreboard format, you still picked up a bunch of things that you didn't want. But what I think would make the new system better is if you could carry tickets over from season to season so that you could spend tickets on just the things that you want, which is really Bethesda's whole argument for implementing the new system to begin with. What did we learn from season 17?
Don't judge all items by their pictures. Some of them will surprise you, and sometimes even in a good way.
Remember to collect all atoms, caps, gold bullion, scout banners, legendary script, legendary modules, and lunchboxes.
If you bought something with tickets that you discovered totally sucks, don't worry about it. You'll have more than enough tickets at the end of the scoreboard to get anything that you want.
What did you think of Season 17? Was it easy? Too easy? Were you pleasantly surprised by the rewards or completely disappointed? Let us know in the comments below or over in Vault 42 on Discord.
A quick shout out to all of our channel members and patrons. You guys are awesome and your support is a huge help to us. Thank you guys.
If any of you who are watching are interested in supporting the channel, you can do so by clicking the join button below to become a channel member, by sending us a super thanks, or by scanning the QR code that's on the screen right now for links to Patreon.
Thank you so much for watching. I'm Noodle Pants.
And I'm Oscapt. And until next time,
Stay safe out there, Vault Dwellers.
In the heart of West Virginia, where the shadows creep and sway, lies a land of rusted dreams, where the brave dare not stray. Appalachia, oh, it's a treacherous ride, with dangers untold and no